What's going on, guys? So welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be about a subject which is very true to us bros, and I feel like it's information that every natural lifter out there should know, as opposed to the bullshit information which we're constantly being sold by supplement companies and non-natural lifters which are just trying to sell us their shitty programs. So here we go, the video about how to gain lean mass. Let's go. So what I mean by lean mass is building a good amount of muscle mass whilst keeping our body fats to a minimal of about 10 to 12%. Now it is possible, it just means we have to follow a few set of simple rules which I'm about to show you. So the first rule relates to our diet, more specifically being in a calorie surplus. Now what a calorie surplus means is that we're going to be eating more calories than what our body expends. So when we go to the gym, we're lifting our weights, or we're just walking along, or even just sat down fidgeting, all of those things burns calories. So what we need to do is make sure that we eat more calories than our body's expending to provide our muscles with a good amount of amino acid support and nutrients for our body to grow. So a good way to ensure that we're in a calorie surplus is to first find out your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Now to find that out can be pretty difficult if you're a bit unaware of what that is, so the best thing I can recommend is go online and find a calculator. I'll link one below, but what that will do is give you a rough estimate of what your TDEE is. So once we find that out, it's best to stick to that for about a week and start tracking your calories with an app such as MyFitnessPal, and basically stick to that for about a week. Now if your weight fluctuates, say if it goes down, then that means that figure is too low for you, so you need to bump your calories up a bit. So by testing this, we can find out how many calories it takes to maintain our body weight. But obviously we don't want to maintain our weight, we want to gain some lean mass. So what we need to do then is bump up our calories by 300 to 500 calories extra per day. So what that's going to do is provide the body with plenty of nutrients, plenty of protein and plenty of fuel to grow, which it needs. Obviously we don't want a calorie surplus to be too high, otherwise we're going to gain unwanted body fat. So what I'd recommend is increasing your surplus by about 300 to 500 calories extra per day, and that way we're not going to gain extreme amounts of weight too quickly, which is going to keep our body fats as low as possible whilst gaining muscle. Now the second factor that we need to consider is our training program. Now if you watched my previous video on the bro split, you'd realise that that program is just not optimal for muscle growth. So what program should we consider? Now ideally you want to be following a program which is training each muscle group in your body at least twice a week, and that's just for the large muscle groups. For the smaller muscle groups such as our biceps, triceps or deltoids, those muscle groups can be trained up to 3, maybe 4 times a week, because they're smaller and they're not going to fatigue your body as much, and we're going to be able to recover quicker from those exercises. Obviously it goes without saying, you want to stick to your main compound lifts which are also better for muscle growth. So those lifts might be things like such as your deadlifts, your overhead presses, your rows, your bench press, your squats, all of those things which involve 2 or more muscle groups. Now another thing which many people don't consider is rest and recovery. So when we're in the gym, we're actually tearing our muscles, which means they're not going to grow in the gym, they're going to grow outside the gym. So obviously that means implementing certain strategies where our muscles can rest and recover, enable for them to grow and adapt to the training. Now what that means is we need a good diet, like I mentioned before, but we also need to have good sleep. I'd recommend at least 7 hours, and we also need to have good rest, which means not overworking your body and actually taking time out once in a while. But it also means we need to implement certain days off. Now I wouldn't recommend programming these into your routine. I would recommend just doing it when it feels best for you. Now obviously we can program rest days, but you could get to that certain rest day and think, well, I'm full of energy, I don't really need this rest day, so it's going to be a wasted day. So what I'd recommend is just following your routine and then getting to the point where you feel that you can't sort of perform maximally, and then maybe taking 1 or 2 days off to help your body fully recover. So this is another question I've been getting a lot recently. I thought I'd cover it in this video because it very strongly relates to the whole subject of gaining lean mass. Now this is, what protein should I be taking to gain lean mass? Now first things first, you don't need any protein supplements. But that being said, if you're not getting enough in your diet already, then it may be something for you to consider. Now if you're people that are only going to the gym to do resistance training and you're not really doing much outside of that, then generally you're going to need about 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now obviously if you're about an 80 kilo to 90 kilo guy, 160 to 180 grams of protein is really not difficult to reach for a good diet. And if you look at just a can of tuna for example, that's got about 30 grams of protein. So already we can see that it's going to be quite easy to get that amount of protein. So when you see people just drinking a protein shakes, the chances are 1, they don't have a clue what they're doing, 2, they're just trying to look cool, and 3, their diet's probably shit. So track how much protein you're getting through your diet, and if you are really struggling, say if you've got a job which requires you to work away all the time, then yes, protein shakes might be something for you to consider, but only use them as a last resort, as you know, they're not going to contain as many nutrients as say a chicken breast or a whole food choice which is high in protein. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I felt like I had to do this video, so I was getting these questions a lot and I thought it'd be better just to do a video for people to watch so I can recommend them to this when they ask me the question again. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you gained something from this. Get it? Gained? No? Okay, just me. But anyway, give the video a like or a thumbs up depending on what platform you're watching on. Head over to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on Facebook and subscribe. And if you're watching this on my YouTube, head over to my Facebook page and give that a like at Shaw Fitness Coach. I hope you enjoyed it. Plenty more content coming soon. See you on the next one.